Hello and welcome back to the channel. It has been a hot minute since we did a proper product review, as putting things together, testing and researching takes some time, but here we are, ready to do a deep dive into the MCS AK12 kit. So you have just been planning on going to a new Milsim event where you will be LARPing as a modern Russian soldier. And of course you want modern Russian camo. But you also want a modern looking AK. So you go into MCS and you look for the AK12 and you get presented with this. Option after option. Do we want the assault version? Do we want the urban version? Shall I get the front side? What about the stock? So on and so forth. You see, building the classic AKM with wood furniture is a piece of cake. The AK has not changed its handsome looks since the 50s, and even when they changed to the more modern looking AK-74, they kept the proportions and design the same. On the other hand, the AK-12 sometimes looks like this, or like this, or even like this. To understand the discrepancies, we first need to take a stroll down memory lane and understand the history and development of the real AK-12 and how does it really look. After the Ratnik program started the modernization efforts and made the jump from the old AK-74 wooden furniture rifles to the newer polymer-based AK-100 series, the Russians were presented with a problem. The new 100 series, although logistically improved in parts compatibility, still lacked the ability to reliably mount accessories to the rifles. Russian Special Forces had already had a few years experimenting with chassis systems, such as Seneca ones, but the regular Grunt was still missing modern optics and designators, crucial for modern night fighting. Enter the AK-200 series, which will later become the AK-12, designed to accommodate a full line of Picatinny rails to mount modern optics, a very advanced 2-round turbo burst, and adjustable ergonomics. But it was way ahead of its time. The rifle is complex and expensive, something the motherland will never tolerate. This is the AK-12 that we all fell in love with. Battlefield, Ghost Recon, Call of Duty, all rendered this version of the AK-12, which is actually the AK-200 prototype. Then, how do we went from this to this, and which one is the most authentic to replicate? So basically you take the standard receiver of an AK-74, then you put the furniture of the AK-200, you mix it up with the gas block of an AK-205, then you put a M4 buffer tube, and that's how you get the AK-12, the real AK-12. All of these changes happened behind closed doors and with very little contact with pop culture, leaving games that were launched as even late as 2019 with the old rendition of the rifle. When the time came to make the AK-12, guess what version MCS used for their model? Yep, that's how MCS came up with this. Now, calling MCS AK-12 a conversion kit, it's a clear misunderstatement. Besides using Tipman's puppet valve, this is a completely unique marker that mimics the controls and ergonomics of the original AK-200 prototype. Don't get me wrong, I love this thing, it's really cool. Everything is different from the X7. Different stock, different air system, different sear, different safety, different fitting system, all changed in favor of replicating everything that made the AK-200 great. But then Russia played a fast one on everyone and just decided to go back to an original looking AK with more modern furniture. And that's how we end up with something like this. And that brings us to the review and to the second setup that the MCS came up with. You see, MCS has two different AK-12s now. The Assault one, which replicates the AK-200 prototype you saw in the video, and the AK-12 Urban, which is this one, more closely mimicking the actual version of the AK-12 the Russian army has. And that is the version that I have here, the AK-12 Urban by MCS. We are going to move ahead to the part of the review, and I'm going to outline each and every part that you need to replicate what the actual AK-12 looks right now as it's being used in Ukraine, for example. Now, starting at the tip, you will need a 12-inch barrel with a 22mm threaded tip. The muzzle device you need looks like this, but MCS has two different types. The Flare muzzle brake, which actually resembles the AK-12 one, and the Soundwave muzzle brake, which is a little bit shorter, but hear me out, this was a complete failure. The threads are positioned on the wrong end for the one that actually looks like the AK12 one. So I ended up using some tape to put this on the right side, and surprisingly it hasn't given me any issues. I already tested the reliability of this setup. It hasn't breaked any balls just yet, so I'll be sticking with this one for now. But once I have some more money, I think I'll go ahead and order the correct muzzle brake this time with the threads on the right side. Moving on to the handguard, this is where things start to differ. If the idea is to clone the AK200 prototype, the one you see in most games, then you need to order the assault version of the handguard and order it without the front sight post. You can then get the regular AK post and use that one. As for the AK200 series, the gas tube and the front post are two separate pieces. For the actual AK12, you want to order this version though, the urban version with the front sight post integrated to the gas tube. You also want to order a wrist vertical grip, as these are standard with Russian troops, and although not an integral part of the rifle, they come pre-attached to the real thing, so you need one of those to complete the look. Moving back to the receiver, as with the AKM, you have two options for markers. Either you go with the Tornado or the Hurricane. If you are cloning the AK200 prototype, then the Tornado is the one to go with, of course, as it will have all of the controls of the AK200. But if your idea is to clone the actual AK12, go for the Hurricane, as the proportions most closely match traditional AKs. As for the stock, you're best just to go with a mil-spec buffer tube assembly and order an actual AK12 collapsible stock from Evike or some other airsoft stuff. Just make sure to order the one that fits mil-spec tubes, because the real AK12 stock will only fit a specialized Russian proprietary buffer tube. You will notice that I have not ordered an AK12 stock just yet, and the reason for that is because you haven't subscribed. No, really, parts cost money, and I don't have it right now. And I'm trying to grow the channel. So if you want to help me, and if you want to help me get more stuff for reviews and just do more interesting content, just subscribe. There's no need to pay me, no Patreon or nothing, just your subscription should do. It helps me out a lot, and it helps me keep on going. For the trigger, I recommend programming the Phenom trigger with the regular semi, and instead of full auto, use the rebound setting, which will automatically shoot 2 balls every trigger pull, closely resemble the 2-round burst the AK12 has. For the mags and magwell, go for the Hurricane V2 magwell, which replaces the button release for a paddle release, and of course the mags, keep the Helix one, as they do work pretty good, they are cheap, and they do have that waffle pattern that the AK12 mags have. And finally, for sights, you can go with a red dot or even the stock sights. That's good to use because the Russian army is actually not giving much optics to their frontline soldiers. But if you want to go full beams Russian, you can use an Airsoft 1P87 or the Cobra EKP-8. Just remember to mount them backwards, as I have, just to best mimic the feel and the look of the original AK12 iron sight system. And finally, for the illuminator module, you will be good mounting the regular PEC-15 or a Russian Perst 3. However, if you want to really nail the Russian grunt look, just leave this flush or mount a regular lamp. Budget cuts prevented regular soldiers from having illuminators, so most will just go out with regular white flashlights. And this is it. That is the full setup. There is no right or wrong option here. If you want the more gamey AK200 prototype look, then go with MCS's pre-built AK12 Tornado. However, if you want something that closely resembles the actual AK12 rifle that the Russian army uses, then go with something like this, and I promise you, you will be happy. I know I am. We are about a month away from a local Milsim event that we're gonna have here in El Salvador, where I will be playing as a Russian VDV soldier. And that's the reason why I put this kit up together, and I wanted to share my thoughts on this for you. So I have all my Russian Ratnik camo ready, I've got my AK-12, and I'm gonna be posting these content in about maybe 2 months from now. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, share, it all helps. Plus, you're gonna be able to keep informed of what I do and what I don't do. That's been the review. I hope you liked it. Have a good one, team.